Okay, chat, modern, or as I like to refer to it recently as dual decks Urza's Saga versus monkeys. Um, this is one of the Asmo decks has been doing well. If you haven't been keeping up with Modern, this is one of the new cards from Modern Horizons 2. So you can't play this card unless you've discarded a card this turn. You pay red-black. When it enters the battlefield, you get to search your library for the Underworld Cookbook, reveal it and put it into your hand. The cookbook here lets you discard a card to make a food token, and then you could sacrifice it to return a creature from your graveyard to your hand. And then our bottom line of text here says, sacrifice 2 foods, target creature deals 6 damage to itself. And 6 is a really important number in Modern because it jumps up and it kills things like Primeval Titan, in addition to most other large things. And the Underworld Cookbook here gets powered by Modern staple Ovalchase Daredevil. Whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you get to return this from your graveyard to your hand. So with the Daredevil and the cookbook, you can loop this every turn, making lots of foods. And then with Urza's Saga, the final chapter on this tutors up a 1-cost artifact. So we've got different utility cards here. We've got an Aether Spellbomb, a Pithing Needle, a Shadowspear, and a Springleaf Drum, in addition to finding more cookbooks. And then we've got Emry, Lurker of the Loch here that kind of ties the room together with Baubles to recur from the graveyard for card advantage. You can loop Aether Spellbomb, interacting with your opponent's board constantly. And then as far as finishers go, we've got Urza, Lorehide, Artificer, in addition to the Urza Saga tokens. We've got a couple of Mull Drifters up here at the top end of the curve to generate some card advantage and poke people in the air. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games with this and see how it goes this morning. We have play points again, chat. We played a good deck like humans yesterday, so we're not out of play points for a change. Does taking Pokemon to the professor for glue count as late-stage capitalism asking for a friend? What's going on, Arsenix? Thanks for the 10 months. Welcome back. There were no kitchen decks in the top 32. That actually makes me really happy because I have not been super... Like, this deck's felt competitive, but it's not felt busted to me, and I'm glad that that's showing up in the results, too. Moto doing the shimmy down here. Got maximize and remaximize. Easy mulligan here. And another one. Man, what an atrocious set of hands. I mean, I guess we're keeping this at 5, right? I believe we get a full Magic spoiler tomorrow. Tomorrow morning it posts for the D&D set. I have a set review plus deck building session scheduled where we would normally play Arena tomorrow. So we're going to play, I've got a couple of historic decks picked out today. And then tomorrow we're doing a constructed set review plus some deck building. And then Wednesday I'm taking off of Magic Arena. And then Thursday's the set release. Thursday, Friday, we're going to do a bunch of Standard 22. Which, speaking of Standard 22, signups for the next Togolandia Open are open now. So if you want to play in that tournament next Sunday, you can sign up in advance. Look at that, chat. Never didn't have it. Street Wraith cycling counts as a discard for my lovely lady here. What's going on, Cavaw? Thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Welcome back. One cookbook, please. So, you don't get in trouble for using Arena's background music. The problem is, unless someone has a... Actually, I should look for that, actually, if there's, like, a soundtrack of it. I tried using, like, some generic royalty-free music, like Riot has a creator-safe playlist that, like, I use for my intro music, and the problem is that, like, having random miscellaneous music that doesn't fit currently what's going on is kind of jarring in a way. So, actually, I changed my mind. My answer to you is if you want music, you should listen to your own music while you watch the stream. Adding music just feels really out of place. Pithing Needle not doing a whole lot. This deck plays 22 lands. It's actually quite a lot of land. I guess Urza Saga is like a land. Yeah, for people that aren't familiar, before we played real video games like Arena and Runeterra and other things like Spider-Man, I just streamed without music. Yeah. No, you're fine. I think we're just passing here. That's true. In the long forgotten times before DMCA strikes were a thing on Twitch, we did listen to music. Those are long gone at this point. Yeah, Needle doesn't really hit anything in their deck, right? You'll have an Emrakul on top of their deck, something like that. Oh, they have a Lurus too, I should pop out. Yep. They have a Lurus Lambton, we do not. Joke's on you, opponent. My hand sucks. Street Wraith. We have a lot of cards that mean we can't play Lurus. We have Street Wraith. We have Urza. We have Muldrifter. So we're going to trade Ragavan plus Unholy Heat for my Asmo. What if I trade for the... Nah, it's got to be the Ragavan, right? It could be right to trade here. What's up, bud? Then go to the bathroom, dude. Gotta announce it. I don't know. I don't know if the RTX voice clipped him or not, but oh, kids. Honestly, yeah, he's gonna destroy the toilet. It's like, dude. Well, seems pretty good. All right, so what am I getting with Urza's Saga here? For starters, we're doing this. I wanted to stop them from drawing extra cards. Huh? Do we just pivot and race them? If I get Underworld Cookbook, I can have a 5/5 this turn and attack for 5, and then next turn we equip Shadowspear. I think I'm kinda into that. Because the food helps me race too in terms of gaining life. And they have no hand. We are dead to a deal 2 here. But otherwise they're dead on board. Neither of these can block. Wait, did they just miss lethal? I mean, we take those here, but okay. Oh, the construct blocks. Never mind. Never mind. I'm dumb. I was in my head. All of these were unblockable, but you're right. We'll go Flying Idiot. Draw some cards. Discard this. Make a food. This is a pretty gross pivot on the back of pretty gross pivot on the back of Urza Saga, huh? I did not think we were winning that game. And then Urza Saga showed up and was just like, hold on, Jeff. Calm down. Everything is fine. I can put this game on my back and carry it. So this is definitely a matchup where we want as many cards as possible that play to the board. What do I want to cut here? We definitely want all of these removal spells, I think. I mean, I don't know that I'd call that game rancid. Like I won the game because my opponent had a slow clock and failed to interact with me. Like my opponent's deck basically did nothing that game. So yeah, Urza Saga eventually won the game, but my opponent gave me like 6 turns of them just moping around, not interacting with me. Oh, they are a Croxa deck, that's true. What am I cutting though? I have so many cards that seem reasonable here. Cutting off Delirium is a good call in the Nihil Spellbomb too. that crazy to just like cut the Street Wraiths? Because we technically have cookbooks plus Saga for cookbook for this. And we got a Springleaf Drum. This is 60. How often do we cast Asmo without Shield? Well, I literally just talked about that. You've cookbook and you have 4 ways to find cookbook. So 8. Going from 12 to 8. And this is a matchup where you're going longer a lot of the time. So you probably have time to find your things. So we're going to play the Bauble Scry game, where we bauble ourselves, and if there's a card we want, we play Darkslick Shores to cast our 1-drop, and if there's a card we don't want, we use a fetch land. Because this card is very silly. Polluted Delta has entered the arena. Just be bidding a Misty Rainforest here, start getting some artifacts generated. Opponent left their card on top. Might cycle this Spellbomb and end a turn. Give us another shot at an Ovalchase Daredevil. Get looping with the cookbook. Remember, I'm supposed to play Saga this turn, so I can start making tokens next turn. That might be the play. Instead of the Darkslick Shores, that might have been better. Yeah, I think that was the play. Because, like, if I don't draw a spell next turn, I just don't have anything to do with my mana. If I would have played the Saga last turn, I could have started making 4/4s. Or bigger. Ooh, that's kind of nice. So we're rewarded for aggressively making food. Everything worked out better than expected, chat. I think it was still correct to have played this the previous turn, but it did work out here for us. Sweet. And then with the Asmo, next turn we get to go land, ditch a land to Asmo, cast Asmo, make a Saga token. Well, this is rude. The Meta Monday tweet is just me being honest. Oh, you mean the extra part at the end where I said just pretend I'm complaining about brainstorming wizards? Yeah, that's also me being honest. Let's be real. Oh no, chat! They played 1-mana Stone Rain, but Reddit told me this card was busted. Chat. Reddit told me this card needs to be banned. What do you mean they can just Alpine Moon me? That's not fair. And then they shattered my cookbook? And they broke all my food? Like, Urza's Saga, to me, is one of those cards that was really useful at showing who understands Magic and who doesn't understand Magic or just looking to give shitty content takes. Like, the people that were, like, drumming up this needs to be banned over a land that gets killed by Alpine Moon and Spreading Seas and Wear Tear and various disenchants is just, like, very funny. This card's so unfair. If I don't interact with it, it kills me. Yeah, that describes, like, most of Modern. So, like, play a faster deck or interact with it. Yeah, I mean, like, so, like, the amount of hate cards they pack, these aren't even, like, narrow specific hate cards, right? These are just, like, generically good Modern cards that, like, you were playing for other decks in the format anyways. It's not like, I could almost understand if this deck, like, required, like, very specific interaction that was, like, narrow and new, but it doesn't, right? Like, you're putting cards into your deck that you should be playing anyways. You should be able to kill artifacts and enchantments. You should be able to interact with lands. Yeah, it was the old ban the new cards changes scary take. Exactly correct. This is the actual problem with the format, BT dubs. It's always Bauble chat. Free cards suck. Less free cards, please. But it's not just a land, right? It's also an enchantment. Which, the fact that it's an enchantment gives you so many axes to interact with it. If it was just a land, I might almost be sympathetic to it. But, like, yeah, also, like, yeah, this is a format where Valakut's legal, so, like, people are used to dying to lands in Modern. Alpine Moon kills Saga because Magic is an intuitive and easy to understand game. Yes, yeah. It also just makes creatures, which are the most interactable. It makes artifact creatures, which honestly, artifact creatures are if you like make a list of cards that could interact with artifact creatures. The artifact creature combination typing probably is the raw number of cards that interact with it is probably the highest. So I'm pretty sure we cookbook on one. No turn one play seems good for us. We drew an Ovalchase Daredevil chat. It's exciting. No artifacts in the bin yet. Is Ovalchase Daredevil 2 squeeze in a trench coat? Quite possibly. You have a fatal push here? Or a bolt or an unholy whatever. That's so rude, chat. Why would they interact with me like that? What did I ever do to them? As a part where they shattering spree my board? Just like pack it up, pack it in, let me begin. Run, monkey, run. All you gotta do is run around, monkey, run, monkey, run. All right, so we're looking to draw a land or a Mishra's Bauble next turn so we can cast Thought Monitor. We're about to get surgically extracted, chat. Just look at the incredible number of axes that you can interact with this deck on. Like, more Ovaltine, please. So it's still like a land or a bubble. Okay. I think we ditch the Fatal Push to play the Muldrifter here, as much as sad as it is. The opponent's deck is Zoomer Jund, for people that haven't kept up on this format, BT dubs. You haven't seen the red-black monkey deck before. We played it last week. It's very good. It's actually in the deck queue again. I think we're going to play it again tomorrow or the day after. It is the playable Jund deck in this format. It costs $1 million like Jund. It does, actually. Ragavans are clean hundo. I think I'm murdering the Voidwalker. We'll start making some artifact friends here. Okay, so this is going to give them Delirium. But they should be pretty dead to our lifelinkers at this point. I don't think I make a food at end of turn because I want to be able to make a second token plus equip Shadowspear to the first one. I don't even know what I want to get here. Is it Aether? I kind of think it's Nihil. Nihil. Because now they're forced to block. I don't get to draw a card, but this is still a good exchange for us, right? It kills the Dragon's Rage Chandler. Casual 16-point swing. Your move, Yugi boy. Low key chat, this card is busted. It's really funny that, like, this card is, like, what makes this deck work, and this card is low-key one of the best cards in the Hammer Time deck that's been going around. Alright, you have a Shattering Spree? Okay, they have a Shattering Spree. They're still dead on board, though, right? Because we equip Shadowspear to the Thought Monitor. They need another land. Goodbye, monkey. Well, I guess they can draw a fatal push. No, that doesn't work. I don't have anything in my deck that stops us from killing them, right? Thinking. I don't think so. I boarded out my Bone Splinters, which would have been a card that did it. Tezzeret not gonna do it. They could have an Unholy Heat in their hand. Okay. No, I boarded my needles out. Okay. We have a game, as they say. Yeah, but that doesn't put them in a position to be able to win the game when it's cool. I think I have to take the hit from the monkey because I need the Emry, right? If I trade here, I'm just doing nothing. Life totals are not a scoreboard. Okay, we're untapping with the Emry. The game has ended. We had a game. We don't anymore. Oh. Well, that's nice. These are a few of my favorite things. Okie doke. Is there a red land in the mana base that you're missing? Yeah, there's a Steam Vents right here. Steam Vents, and we have, what? There's 4, 5, 6, 7 fetches for it, so you have 8 red sources. All the fetch lands are. And, like, the Steam Vents is also, like, technically an island that casts Asmo. I don't know that I'm sold on these Abrades being good. I'm just playing the deck list I was sent. 8 is definitely on the low side for a number of red sources to cast a card like this. Yeah, splashing in Modern tends to be pretty trivial. Demir served hot and ready. Demir, it's what's for breakfast, chat. Asmo and the Ovalchase Daredevil already, they've got what you crave, chat. They've got what you crave. They're cooking with electrolytes. We drawn an Urza in this league. No, we didn't draw him at all in the first match. It would have been very good, though, to be fair. We played against a mid-range deck, and Urza's kind of great against mid-range decks. Sure. Yeah, Abrade's very good against the Hammer Time deck. I assume all these Aether Gusts are in our sideboard for Titan. I guess this is pretty good in the Saga mirror matches in general. Is there any matchup we're worried about? Well, I've only ever played one match with the deck, so I'm going to say I don't have any experience to tell you what I should or shouldn't be worried about. Untapped does not work with MTGO. The deck list will be available in the YouTube video description this evening. I think I'm going to keep this and just like Pithing Needle on one. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Ha! Got him! I wasn't sure exactly what we were going to name, but then they let it resolve. They let it resolve, and we got to name this Polluted Delta. That wasn't even Wasteland. That was so much better than Wasteland. I didn't have to give up my land drop to put them behind. I was say, this is the part where we just draw like four Polluted Deltas in a row. To be fair to them, if they have like a Fatal Push for Emry here, oh yeah, poor Emry. Our hand just like does nothing at this point. No, she does not have Madness. She just requires we discarded something else so we can then cast her. It looks like the red-black monkey deck again. How was Mirror yesterday? We actually didn't play against Teferi at all. The games just like weren't very good because Historic's kind of a dog crap best of one format in my opinion. Just like some of the joy of playing Winota was removed by the fact that like there wasn't much counterplay on the opponent's part. Yeah, most of the people in Mirror aren't playing with the modified cards because Mirror is also just an all-access event, so people are using it as a chance to test historic decks they want to play. Yeah, Mirror is best of one. We're not going to be playing any more Mirror. If you want to check it out, there were like some interesting games that you can watch. They're all up on the YouTubes as always, but I also don't know that I would describe it as particularly compelling. They're up to 5 cards in bin already here. They crack another fetch land. They're going to be able to escape a Croxo. It's going to put us on the ground pretty quickly. We don't find a way to get Asmo into play. Yeah. I assume Crox is escaping here. Yeah, building decks with the edited cards is a pain in the ass, the way the deck editor works. It does. It puts a little arrow that says up or down. It also currently says game 1. So I don't think it's fair to say that Teferi got buffed in Mirror, but I do think it's fair to say he was just changed as opposed to he was nerfed. So I disagree with anyone who told me Teferi got nerfed, but I also think saying he got buffed is inaccurate. I mean, I'd rather have Street Wraith than these Abrades here. It's kind of hard to get red mana consistently. I think I'd rather cast my Asmos more consistently. Why not side an Ashiok? Because we don't have a ton of removal in our deck. So Ashiok's a planeswalker that just gets attacked down. I guess it technically clears out Delirium, but I also don't have anything I'm particularly excited to cut, so I don't really know that Ashiok's better than any of the cards that are currently in my deck. I could trim more Street Wraiths, those are just kind of filler, but they're also filler that helps me cast the Asmo consistently. So, if someone that has a ton of experience with this matchup told me they've played it a bunch and they think it's correct to board an Ashiok, I'd believe them and defer to their experience, but at a glance, I don't really have anything that I want to trim for it. I think I'm going to keep this, and I'm going to start by bubbling myself. If there's a black source on top of my deck, we'll Street Wraith and then cast Asmo. There is not. So now I will play a land and pass, and then we get a couple of draws here. We get a draw from the Bauble, a draw from the turn, and then a draw from the Street Wraith to find a black source for Asmo next turn. In general, I'd encourage you, rather than saying, Jeff, why aren't you boarding this card in? Instead, tell me why you think it's good and what you think I should cut. And if you can't tell me why you think it's good and you don't have anything that you can think about cutting for it, that's probably why I'm not boarding it in. And thinking through those types of things like, where do I want this? What do I want to cut? That's how you get better at boarding yourself. Thinking through those details. Like, why do I want to do this? How do I do it? Why is it worth doing? These are the questions that make you a better Magic player and better at sideboardings personally. Could be right to play the Saga here, but I kind of want to get Emry lined up for next turn. He says before getting Inquisitioned again. Oh, my opponent doesn't have Lurus anymore. Do you think they put Leyline of the Void in their deck? Sure, but not having a spot to cut is a reason to talk about to not have it.
Breakfast party's here.
Look at, she did bring me breakfast, chat.
It's party pancakes.
They're party pancakes.
Do you want syrup for your party pancakes?
Nah, pancakes are enough sugar on their own. Okay. Love you. Thank you, wifey. Thanks for the 15 months contract. Welcome back. I might not be aggressive enough about playing Urza Saga early. If I could make a Toko with this turn, I'd be much better off. Cassius, thank you for the 21 months. And Kicker, thanks for the 22 months. Where are your pancakes? Yeah, I'll mail them to you. They're coming. So we'll fish up Black Spellbomb here. We'll make a token. Got me. We'll make a token. It's weird that they're playing Savvy Triome and they're not playing the red-black cycle land. I'm playing this land out because I want to be able to cast Urza if we draw him. Oh, they're probably splashing white. That makes sense. You're right, I did see some of these splashing Prismatic Ending. Well, shit. I guess we start with Shadowspear because this way she doesn't die to an Unholy Heat because I don't have Delirium yet. We haven't seen why they're not on Lurus yet. You can have Shatterstone with Lurus. Lurus is poorly designed and it's permanence only. Man, their runners have been really good here. Got 2 draws next turn at least. Would really like an Urza here. Been too good up there for him. Thanks for the follow, Mr. Heavy Duty. Oh, they have Liliana. Yeah, I think we're dead at this point. There's too many pieces here. Voidwalker's just such a quick clock. Happy July, Spankweasel. Yeah, close game for a second there. Our opponent's top decks far outstripped ours. What's going on, Scottish? Thanks for the 18 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Lily is why they didn't have Lurus, is correct. Maybe some other things. At the very least, Liliana. That was the only card I think we saw that broke the Lurus restriction. Seems pretty good. Do we, like, bauble them before we do anything? If they have a fetch land on top, we can Stone Rain them? It's a little aggro, but I like it. A little aggro sometimes, chip. I think I want to make some food proactively here. Makes my Urza Saga tokens bigger. Also helps if I draw it's food prepped if I draw an Asmo or if we draw the Affinity Dorko. What is with the audacity of these people interacting with my lands, chat? Reddit assured me that this card was not interactable and needed to be banned. No. Green-black Urza Saga. I'm supposed to Nihil Saga here, right? I think so. Hey, Kevin. Thanks for the Prime support. There's a ton of great people you can send that to every single month here on Twitch. Thanks for sending it this way this month and keeping me around. Yeah, so the Saga will still get a artifact at the end of its cycle, but it can't make tokens here. Which is what we care about at the moment. I'll ditch this. Cast a 1-mana Thought Monitor. In case our Mole Drifter draws a Mole Drifter. Go dog. Got me. Yep. Oh, they forgot to float mana. Wait. Did they also just not search anything? I'm so confused. You're not supposed to make a food response there. Okay. Urza looking pretty decent against Stony Silence. They have a Fatal Push in hand, though. This Emry gets to recast a Thought Monitor. We could really get going here. So they have Liquid Metal Coating, which lets Karn kill one of my lands with its plus. Nissa Vital Force. Okay. It's on quite the sweet brew here. So they have Fatal Push, Liquid Metal Coating, then 2 cards we don't know. About to get a 3rd card that we will know. Explosives, sure. We can't blow that up this turn, though. Asmo, kill land. Well, I don't currently have a way to discard a card. So hopefully this Thought Monitor draws us a Street Wraith. Hey, Wicked Zen, thanks for the 17 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Oh, chat, they animated their only black land. Oh, make blue before I sacrifice. Yeah, good call. Oh, that ship has sailed. If you Urza and a Street Wraith, can you cycle it? You cannot. Urza says you may cast the card. And cast this, so this is a 6/6. So they have to choose. Oh, I could have made a mana again, but I might want to use these, right? Uh, damn it, Bobby. So I definitely want to make 2 food in response here, right? And I think because they're killing my Pithing Needle, we keep our Saga. We might just replay Needle on Nissa Vital Force, honestly. Okay, now we can just attack her. They already played a land for the turn. Yeah, I really don't see how our opponent comes back from here. Another Mole Drifter in my bin. I am allergic to the Underworld Cookbook, chap. Whew. Someone asked if there's any cost to playing Bauble in any deck. If your deck can generate any amount of value off of Mishra's Bauble, be it Delirium, be it Prowess, be it recasting artifacts or artifact synergies, no, there's really not much downside. It's pretty much all upside. Well, my opponent's deck that had main deck hate cards for us just like flopped right on over, so that was kind of impressive. Fatal Push and Bone Shards. Oh, Bone Shards kills Planeswalkers. Fatal Push doesn't seem very good. It's an Aether Gust matchup. They didn't have that many green cards. Is it crazy to just, like, mostly click submit? Just, like, cut this Fatal Push for this Tezzeret and run it back? Opponent's just kind of mid-ranging with us, and our deck's kind of good at mid-ranging. I think I'm just gonna run it back. Urza really kind of showing its worth there in that game. How it, like, lets you play through hate cards like Stony Silence or Karn or Collector Oath and stuff. This hand's absurd, right? Ovalchase Daredevil or Asmo off of Street Wraith finds Big Sag because we've gotten discard spelled. So this into this would have found us a kitchen to loop with the Daredevil, but we have nothing. Good day, sir. I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my bike. This is the part where I would normally complain about having huge tracts of land, but our tracts of land are going to make some artifacts for us, so... Come on a trip with me, chat. Allow me to sing you the song of my people. It's quite the story about Urza. I feel like it's kind of as much as I think Bauble should probably be banned, there is something to be said from a Vorthos perspective about the fact that Mishra's Bauble is a key enabler in the Urza Saga deck. So from a flavor perspective, perhaps I should allow it. More Ovaltine, please. We lost to red-black mid-range. We beat red-black mid-range. We lost to red-black mid-range. Oh, that's true. They did have a white splash, the second person we played against. Another cookbook. Another cookbook's actually great, right? Because I have the Ovalchase Daredevil. I'm a hungry boy, chat. Gobble, gobble. My opponent, like, has this Liliana, but they also only have one card left. I guess they're getting dangerously close to ulting her, huh? But that's fine, because I'm going to make a token, and then we're going to get to fish up, we're going to get to fish up We're going to get to fish up our Trampler card to kill the Liliana, because we have way more artifacts than they do. More Ovaltine, please. More tramples, please. I really don't understand why my opponent's deck is playing Urza Saga. Their deck playing Urza Saga feels like someone told them every deck's supposed to play Urza Saga, it's busted. That's 100% what happened. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely the vibes I'm getting off of it. So, my opponent's Saga here gets to fish up an engineered explosives for 0, which does clear our board out for the most part. You know how hyperbolic Magic players be, right? Like, you know, every white deck's gonna play Stoneforge, every deck has to play Urza Saga. Can't get EE with Saga, isn't it? Mana cost 0 or 1? Oh, does it have to be exactly 0 or 1? It can't be X? That's good to know. Magic's an intuitive game that's easy to understand. To be fair, every red deck needs Ragavan is probably the most true of all of those statements. Ragavan does fit into most red decks, I think. He has the least deck building requirement of all of those cards we just listed. Hey, look, a third Urza Saga is on top for my opponent. So, the reason why, and I didn't notice this on Urza Saga, I assumed Urza Saga said mana value 1 or less, but it doesn't say mana value 1 or less. It explicitly says 0 or 1. So that's why you can't get something that costs X with it. Also, I assumed my opponent just misclicked last game, but apparently they're just playing Urza Saga without things it can tutor for. Oh, they wanted it explicitly not to be able to get artifact lands. That makes sense. That makes a ton of sense. They wanted you to be down a land for including it. It's basically like the TLDR. It also can't get Lotus Bloom. Look at that. Well, let's be honest, Pepperoni Chicken. If you're someone who's been playing Naya Zoo in Modern, you don't really need to get Ragavans to complete your list, because you're clearly not someone who's been playing to win if you've been playing Naya Zoo anyways. You're right that you probably should, but also, like, you know, you should be used to playing a little bit from behind. It does. It's definitely a great card. Naya Zoo's definitely a deck that card should go in. I'm just needling your tier 4 deck. Listen, as something of a tier 4 deck specialist myself, it does fit into the zoo thematically. Yes. The zoo needs more monkeys. I will say, I definitely see the appeal of playing this deck that we're currently playing. I don't think I would consider it busted, having played against it and playing a few games with it here, but it's definitely big brain feel smart magic, which definitely has an amount of appeal. How can I mulligan this, chat? This hand could be anything. Could even be more Mishra's bubbles and Street Wraiths. I think we're supposed to play. I think we're supposed to play catch and release here. This hand is like not amazing, but I think it's in the range of keepable with the piece of interaction here. Just like any discard enabler in this hand's super good. We draw Hell's Kitchen. We draw a Street Wraith. This hand's just like super powerful. The first one was an optimal content keep. Big mood. That's definitely accurate. Kitchen. Sedge. Alright, so am I fatal pushing the ignoble, or am I fatal pushing whatever their first play is? I think I leave the Mana Dork and fatal push their first actual play, since I drew the fetch land. I think if I hadn't drawn the fetch, I'd push the noble off a cliff. But with the oh no. Oh no. I've made a terrible mistake, chat. I assumed my opponent wasn't playing terrible cards. Alright, Liliana. Watch this Liliana dumpster us, chat. About to get thrown in the trash can here. I assume they were playing some kind of creature deck. Liliana really hurts. My opponent has discarded a Yu-Gi-Oh card, it looks like here. Welcome to the Dreadboard! Do-do-do-do-do! I feel like the fact that these don't have a heavy metal soundtrack that they play when they come into play is a pretty big miss. Why doesn't this card have flash? So I can cast it after they Liliana me? I'm gonna discard this, actually. Because if we draw a cookbook, I have Ovalchase Daredevil in the bin. So we need a Street Wraith or a cookbook here. Alright, so Jund. Rebuke's out, Agent in. Needle's probably fine. Springleaf Drum out. Pyrite Spellbomb sounds fine. Fatal Pushes sound fine, especially for their mana dorks. Make the correct play of pushing the dork this time. One more cut here. I'm sure my Street Wraith is filler. If only you had a Loxodon spider like Naya Zoo. Big mood. Big mood. This hand's great. I think we cycle Street Wraith on one in case we spike an Asmo, but then we have Cookbook with Ovalchase Daredevil into Emry plus a piece of interaction. Like, if they, like, play Mana Dork on one, we get to go Emry plus Fatal Push it on two. Pretty well set up here. Nice. And then the Cookbook plus some Ovaltine lets you get to your Muldrifter really quickly, which is nice. Nice. Don't surgical me, bro. I would like the record to reflect that I technically have not been surgical extraction. My opponent also, like, mulliganed to 5, though, so, like, they mulliganed, and then they spent 2 cards to get rid of my Ovaltine Daredevil. Kind of feels like a win to me. More Ovaltine, please. No Fatal Push for my Emry. Am I gonna get to untap with Milady here? Oh my gosh, chat. I'm gonna get to untap with Milady. She's my honey pie, sugar, baby. Oh, yeah. Big tapped land energy right there, chat. How does our deck work? It sets up the cookbook with Asmodee and the Ovaltine Daredevil and makes lots of foods. And it makes our opponent big sedge. What are you drawing for the turn here? Burden Catacombs. Emry hit a cookbook, chat. Emry could be dying here. I would be surprised if we untap with Emry. We're gonna get to untap with Emry, chat! I repeat, this is not a drill. I repeat, over. We are untapping with Emry. This is not a drill. Over. Oh, golly. Golly. My opponent appears to be auto-passing, chat. More Ovaltine, please. Furious Squirrel, thank you for the 39 months. Welcome back. You know, honestly, with the cookbook in hand, I wonder if I was supposed to recast a Bauble from the bin to draw a card there. Could definitely have been the case. Not me. I'll sacrifice Asmo, take 4. She's dead, Jim. You've murdered her. Land. Nailed it. This Twitch stream pre-recorded in front of a live audience. Cookbook. Cookbook. More Ovaltine, please. Yeah, Emry is definitely killing Liliana this turn. And Asmo's gonna give Tarmogoyf a case of food poisoning here like it's never had in its dinosaur life before. I need a laugh track for after we say more Ovaltine, please. That's true. Imagine thinking Tarmogoyf is playable in this year of our Lord 2021. Imagine registering Tarmogoyf, chat. Boomer Jund, chat. You gotta get on the Zoomer Jund life. Zoomer Jund is all about the red-black monkey lifestyle. Monkey around. Monkey around. Monkey gets up and gets down. Monk. Don't bully Tarmogoyf. Listen, Asmo can't help but bully Tarmogoyf. We've secured our $10 back, chat. Now we play for extra gambling monies. Cookbook, Asmodee, Urza Saga. All of Modern's problem children right here. Oh. Oh no. Oh no, chat. Have a card. Because I care, have a card. Yeah, likely hammer time. I think the hammer time deck's very good, by the way. You haven't seen it before, it does very silly things. Alright, hopefully we can find some Ovaltine next turn. Get this cookbook going. We're gonna cook into Asmo regardless, but it would be nice to have a recurring source. Oh, just not hammer time? Is there gonna be a world where we hold up this Metallic Rebuke? I don't think so. So, we're not just dead to this. We have, what's it called? We have an Aether Spellbomb that this Urza Saga is gonna fish up here in a minute. Oh, you know what? I should have cycled this to try and find an Ovaltine Daredevil before I discarded the Rebuke. B. Williams, thanks for the 28 months. Welcome back. I appreciate you keeping me around. Okay, so we're going to 13. Get the gas up here a little bit. I think I'm making a token this turn. CJNJ, thank you for the 33 months. Good morning. Okay, attack with Asmo. She's not blocking, right? And I have a token that can block. Are we doing Go Fest in 2 weeks? I'm planning on it, yeah. We have a Cub Scout camping trip that Saturday. But I'll be able to play a little bit while we're there and the kids are doing activities, and then Sunday we'll be able to play plenty. So we got a 6 here. I'm supposed to murder the Stoneforge Mystic proactively. Might be playing a little too scared. I think I just want Spellbomb. I'm not going to attack with Asmo, because on the off chance they have a Batter Skull in hand, I don't want to run her into it. They have Stoneforge Mystic here that could drop a Batter Skull into play. The Esper deck playing Esper Sentinel. Savor the flavor, chat. Savor the flavor. No plays there. Feels weird. What is in their hand? They have no plays. Could just have a bunch of lands. They're still 2 lands off of being able to equip Kaldra Complete into something. I'd like to send that germ back from whence it came. I think we're ditching the cookbook to make a food here. Ideally, I want to be able to murder 2 things with Asmo in a pinch next turn. They could just have a bunch of counter spells. Yeah, that makes sense. In terms of like what's in their hand. It just concedes. They're under the double abyss here, because I could discard, make another food. Okay, so Thoughtseize seems pretty good against the counter spell Stoneforge Mystic deck. In for Fatal Push, in for Tezzeret, in for Pyrite Spellbomb. I cut the Springleaf Drum in the grindy matchup. I think I want to be tapping out and playing to the board. I think these Metallic Rebukes, I guess these could be okay. Wonder if Shadowspear's a never trim. It's like, you can make Kaldra Completant lose Indestructible, but it still has First Strike and exile your stuff, so you're not beating it in combat. I guess I could, like, bring in the Abrades and keep Shadowspear. Because this takes Indestructible off of all their permanents. This lets Abrade kill Completant. I need so many cuts, though, right now. That's true. Spear lets Asmo kill the token. That's a good observation. Just trim the Street Wraiths again. Street Wraith's most common cut in every side we're going to look at. Yeah. Especially, too, because, like, Street Wraith helps you get Asmo into play faster, but post-board, especially in a fair matchup like this, we're pivoting in a way to become more interactive, so it's not detrimental if we're not going super fast. People talking about Moxamber, you're just, like, not ramping into anything, right? Remember, in order for Moxamber to do a thing, you have to, like, have a legend in play, and, like, once you have a legend in play, like, the top of our curve is, like, really low. Bauble is very good. You're not wrong, Garfank. Thanks for the quarter of a year. Welcome back. Hey, thanks for the sub gift, Drax. Morning, good morning. So we're not going to sack this Bauble because I want to Emry on too. Aether Vial does put Asmo into play with no counters on it. Wanda Halls, thanks for the brand new Prime support. There's a ton of great places that can end up at every single month here on Twitch. Thanks for sending it this way this month. There were not many Tefris, but Mir also just reminded me that I think Historic's a pretty rancid best of one format. This deck's really sweet, AGH. It's doing some genuinely powerful things, and it has a lot of, like, really little lines and micro decisions you could do to min-max your chances of doing well. It's a very, very satisfying deck to play, in my opinion. Mishra's Bauble is Mishra's Bauble, but other than that, I like what this deck is doing a lot. It would have made sense to grab the Steam Vents for Abrades. I forgot there's Abrades in my decks. You are correct that was the correct play. I also have Pyrite Spellbomb in my deck right now. Yikes. I think we're dead, chat. Bauble is $50. I guess we Bauble. And then we Pyrite Spellbomb. And then if I Bauble again next turn with Emry, I can cast Thought Monitor, I guess. But they also have Counterspell they're holding up here, so yeah, I think we're done at this point. Ugh. Stand up for a little bit, shake the legs out. Show off our lovely tireless Pilgrim versus the Multiverse shirt. Hey, good to have you, Juan. Listen, Drax, any day we break even on my Moto Bucks is a good morning. I already got our 3-2 guaranteed. I ain't greedy. Dead Guy Ale with Keldra in the future. Yeah, probably. I actually had a ton of modern submissions recently, so playing through a bunch of viewer decks this week. But I imagine those will die down a little bit, and we'll get back to me picking out some stuff here soon. The Magic Online economy is really easy to understand and not convoluted at all, and I can very easily explain to you how new cards enter the marketplace in a quick, efficient manner. Sorry, I had a kink in my neck there while I was saying that. I'm gonna wait on the Bauble in case we draw a 1-drop. I'm gonna let him draw a card here. I'm just gonna name Stoneforge Mystic. The non-sarcastic answer is that Moto cards enter the market via draft. They enter the market via remaster sets. They enter the market on Moto via treasure chests. And the rate at which they occur at treasure chests can be very different, depending on which cards you're looking at. Do I want both of us to draw a card? I think the answer is yes. They have 6 cards and I have almost none. So I think the extra card's more likely to help me than them. So I'm not paying for this because I want to make a thing with Urza Saga here. I wonder if Emry's going to meet a prismatic death here. So probably just grabbing Hell's Kitchen here with the Saga. And I'm going to remember to get my steam vents this time. Look at that, chat. You can teach a dumb dog new tricks. Attack for 6. This is Asmo, chat. Okay. So we're gonna discard Thoughtseize. Then we'll kill the Kataki. And now I gotta decide which 3 artifacts we're saving. Honestly, I think it's like 2 constructs in the cookbook, right? If I draw an untapped land, I get to attack for 10 this turn. Oh, they have Force of Negation. They have Force of Negation hand. They probably have a blue card. I mean, they're at 11, chat. I want to just kill them. Yeah, actually, I'm going to just start by attacking. Well, they have Force of Negation, chat. Because if they chump here, I can land book without them drawing a card. Well, yeah, but if they have Stoneforges in hand, they're not going to get to they're not going to get to like play Stoneforge and search with Stoneforge in the same turn, right? We have them under the abyss at this point. They have to deal with multiple threats here. Okay, let's start. Sweet. Stuck the 4-1. Yeah, okay. That was sweet. I boarded out Metallic Rebuke and Springleaf Drum a lot. And I'm not really sure what matchups these are for. I guess these are probably good in the combo matchups, huh? But like what are the combo matchups in this format? Like I feel like I'd be surprised if Rebuke was better than playing more cards that play to the board. If that makes sense. Living End. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Living End's not that popular. So these would be the cards that, if I were to think about playing this again, I would think about, are these worth the slots that I have? Or would I want more cards in those slots that play to the board? I don't know exactly what else you'd want in these slots. Honestly, there's probably merit to shoving a Nihil Spellbomb in your main deck. There's enough incidental graveyard hate in this format. People talking about Hammer for a combo deck. I'd much rather have Fatal Push against the Hammer deck than Metallic Rebuke, right? Sure, Springleaf Drum being relative acceleration could come up on occasion. I could see that, but I feel like I'd be surprised that these rebukes are something that I want. I think I'd rather have cards that play to the board, or honestly, I'd rather just have like Thoughtseize rather than a counterspell. I think like our deck's kind of proactive in a way, the way we beat down, so having a form of proactive disruption as opposed to reactive disruption seems valuable. So at a minimum, I would get rid of these. I would potentially get rid of this. I would definitely put a Nihil Spellbomb in the main. I would probably just play like another Fatal Push or something like that. I don't know. Drawn to the Loch, people don't like fill their graveyards up that much, especially if I want to get the Spellbomb into the main deck. That makes Drawn to the Loch quite a bit worse. So, at any rate, this deck was sweet. It felt really satisfying to play. There's a ton of little micro and sequencing decisions that you get to make while you play it. It's definitely a big brain, feel smart kind of deck, and I enjoyed my time playing it. Urza Saga. People have been complaining about this card, but it's a really sweet card. Toolbox cards that are playable are just so much fun, and I don't think this card's really likely to be a problem. Like, it's so interactable, and I think if this card is a problem, I think the actual problem is the surrounding cast around it. If this card gets banned as opposed to like Mishra's Bauble or in Titan Primeval, if this card's too good in Amulet Titan, for example, Amulet Titan's been getting cards banned for the better part of a decade. Primeval Titan probably just shouldn't be in Modern, right? And stupid free cards like this just probably shouldn't be in Modern. Yes, this is a card that takes your land drop, exposes your land drop to a variety of forms of interaction, and takes 3 turns to work. 3 turns in Modern is an eternity. This is a format where you can die on turn 3, and like, you can't play it until turn 2, so you don't get full value out of it until turn 4. So I really like this card, and I hope it stays around. I like the games it generates, and I like the number of axes of interactions you can hit it on. Yeah, thanks for the submission, Voltaic. I appreciate it. Dauber, thanks for the 34 months. All right, for those of you that are just into Modern, if you're new to the channel, I'll be back with more Modern tomorrow. We're doing Modern almost every day to start the stream these days. Format's been a lot of fun. Everything also ends up on my YouTube channel, so if you didn't catch this whole league, it'll all be up there start to finish. We're going to shift gears for the next few hours. We're going to be playing some Historic on Magic Arena. We'll be back with another